Hey, welcome back. And Chainsawman just ended. It's kind of surreal to be here at the end of the first season after months and months of hype. So, with the first core out of the way, did the show actually live up to its standards? Well, no. The show, graphically designed by Mappa, was amazing. But I don't think it's the slice of bread that we were looking for. Obviously, that's not possible, is it? Still, with the show finished, I think we can take a more objective look at it. And I'm going to start by saying the one thing I kind of don't like about it is the CGI. The CGI in Chainsaw Man is pretty good. Hell, it's probably the best CGI that we've gotten in years, but I still think it takes away from the fights. The problem is that the rest of the animation is really fucking good. It's incredible. The CGI looks good, but it still sticks out. It's something I've gotten used to pretty quickly, but it's probably worth mentioning. I've loved pretty much everything about the show after that, and I think it all ties around one theme, and that is subverting expectations. There are spoilers ahead. This is your warning. Duh. Yes, I know that meme. Trust, it still hurts. Still, Chainsaw Man is probably the only example of subverting expectations that doesn't end in a complete clusterfuck, and it still starts with Denji, our main character. Denji is, well, he's different from a normal shonen character. We've all seen the show where the main character has some epic and noble goal in mind, something that he's willing to risk it all for, and when the time gets tough, he gets going. That is not our protagonist. He gets a full boost by just the minimal task ever. We've all seen the big three, and more recently we've seen formulas like Demon Slayer, where their objective is do something good, get something good, and it ends up being good. Not here. Denji's motivation, his only motivation is food, sleep, and to bang Makima. Eventually. Now that's just refreshing, and it gives the whole show a completely different tone than what you're used to. Denji never really acts like a hero, and that's because Chainsaw Man doesn't really have any heroes. It's just a group of people that are super messed up with some powers, and they've happened to follow along inside this messed up story. My favorite example of this is when Katana Man confronts Denji and asks him to pay for killing his grandfather. If Denji had any humanity left in him, he'll let himself be killed for what he did to the grandfather. It's what normal humans would do. Or he'll do some Naruto talk no jutsu shit that'll be, plot armor driven. I'll be the first to admit it that Denji actually looked like he was considering it for a moment or two, but then Denji calls him a fucking idiot and charges at him. Like, what? Or how at the end of the episode when Katana Man is tied up, Denji just wants to kick him in the balls, and Aki joins him. Like, they're both happy kicking him in the balls after everything that he's done. This is probably the best shonen revenge scene I've ever seen. Period. For someone who grew up watching the big three, it's hard to overstate how cool it was watching something like this happen. Sure, it's great to have morals and all, but I'm sure as kids we all wanted to watch Naruto snap and beat the shit out of Orochimaru once. Chainsaw Man gives us that, even if it's a few years too late. Another really good thing I like about the show is that it actually feels like it has stakes. No one character feels invincible. Hell, when a shonen anime shows a character for more than a couple episodes, you feel like they're a part of the main cast. They built up Himiko over a couple of episodes, and Chainsaw Man makes her disappear within the span of 2 minutes. Hell, it's already foreshadowed one of the deaths of one of the main characters. And it's only been 12 episodes. No one important really dies in Bleach. All the Straw Hats are untouchable, and people who really die are side characters and really shitty villains in Naruto. In Chainsaw Man, these rules don't exist. Obviously it has its limits, like they're not going to kill the main character or anything, but it always feels like someone else is fair game. It even uses this to subvert expectations yet again. When Aki got his death foreshadowed, I was 100% certain that he was going to die in the final or last episode, but then they didn't, and it made me feel almost glad. And even though they did some heartwarming power of friendship, I didn't feel ripped off. I didn't feel like it was just some other shonen where I was gonna roll my eyes and felt like I was bullshitted out of somebody who should have died. But feels so much better. I think this is a lot of words to say that this is probably the best shonen anime that I've seen in the last decade. I really like where the story is going, and I can't wait for the second half. If you have stayed this long, it means the world to me, and I would like to say thank you. But remember to stay goofy, stay hydrated, and I love you.